What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Chris.
What's up?
And we're here to give you another good one. Sunny day,
Yeah.
good vibes,
Good vibes.
and we're inside.
Yeah. Because it's freezing outside.
Well, I don't think it's freezing.
So
Chris thinks it's freezing. I don't think it's freezing.
not that bad.
Clearly, I don't think it's freezing.
Yeah, you're fine.
He's in a fucking winter coat. But yeah, we're here to bring you some good vibes.
Yeah.
We weren't going to miss out on you, even though it was sunny.
Exactly.
But
I have a new dilemma. We don't have a dilemma in a while, so I thought
I know.
I'd bring in a dilemma.
and I'm buzzing for it.
Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Okay. It might not be as spicy as some of the ones we had before.
We've had a few
but
spicers, but
We've had a few spicers.
you know what? The problem with having spicers is they can't all be spicers.
Exactly. We need to mix it up. With
You get medium, lemon and herb.
The way I see it is you got to dilute stuff with a couple ice cubes sometimes. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. That was
Right.
quite good.
Pretty good, eh?
Aye, that was good, aye.
That is Brooklyn Nine-Nine for you. Right
That
there.
was nice.
Right, so, title of this is, I tried to break up with my girlfriend, it didn't go well. Alright, so, when does it ever
go well?
Right? So, 2 years into the relationship, I don't feel like we want the same thing anymore. When we first met, I told her I don't see marriage and kids as something for me. And she said, in
Good.
capitals, me too! And that's how we started dating.
and that voice.
Yeah, that fucking...
Me too.
Right? Since January 2025, she started to change her mind about marriage, talking about her biological clock. I straight up said that I'm still on my word regarding marriage. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but just because I straight up said...
Straight up tell her.
Straight
what?
up. Said that I'm still on my word regarding marriage and kids, besides the fact that we're both financially unstable. Right. She
Did
cried...
you write this?
That was quick.
So what's quick, eh?
She cried that night. After a week of thinking, I told her that we need to break up. Our needs and priorities have changed, and I said that I can't hold her hostage while she's dreaming of having kids. Fair. She cried so much, folded on bed, bawling her eyes out, begged me to stay, and said that her life will end
Oh, God, come on.
if I leave her, and that scared me, so I stayed
No.
that night to make sure she doesn't actually harm herself. I was kind of in that position one time.
Oh, I was
Years
going
ago.
to comment.
Right. And
But go on.
I was a dumbass that stayed but eventually I left. But
Yeah,
anyway,
but go on.
the next morning she was so normal, like nothing happened last night. She sent me tons of text messages with kisses emojis, telling me I'm the best thing in her life and how lucky she is to have me and all this and all that. Guys, I'm worried and anxious. I want to leave, but worried that she'll harm herself or cause me issues. She's never shown these signs before. So I think there's a lot of emotional manipulation going on there.
I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. I had
My favourite.
that in the bank, but now you've like.
But you've
Go
got
on.
nothing else. Go on. Expand.
Nah, so the thing, right? So when she says she acted absolutely fine the next day, right? So like,
Bullshit.
how do you go
Yep.
from one
Yep.
to the other? It's basically it is that manipulation of like, and then the ending the life thing and all that. Like, so she wants it her way and no other way. So I would 100% say leave and split up for the best of both of you, really, because this is going to turn out toxic as fuck. And the other thing is, do not, and I repeat, do not have sex with her, because this sounds like a disaster. It sounds like she's ready to trap you, because this whole thing's kicking off now, and now she's like, oh yeah, never everything's fine. How can you switch that fast from one night to the other, from being in that emotional state to then being absolutely fine the next day? It just is weird, right? So I think there's a lot of manipulation going on there. I don't think it's healthy at all, and I think you both should find someone that you are both compatible with.
So, initially,
Right.
well done for right at the beginning being like, I don't want kids, I don't want marriage,
Oh yeah.
because you've laid your
You've realised your thing.
shit out
straight
on
away,
the
yeah.
table initially.
Yeah.
Perfect. And she's obviously agreed with that. Now, whether or not at the time when she's agreed with that has been genuine or not is impossible to say, because sometimes when you like if she's maybe really liked him, she's just went, yeah, same.
Yeah.
Hoping
all lust, right?
hoping he will change.
Yeah.
Which normally it's less likely when guys say things like that they do tend to change their mind. So for me, obviously, in a couple of years later, whatever, it's 2 years later, when she's starting to come out with that, her mind is changing again. Well done for reinforcing. So I hope that's not where a lot of the arguments are going, because you've reinforced something you've already said. So like it shouldn't be an issue. Following that, yes, it's difficult that she's crying. There's the sort of, again, I'm going to harm myself, etc. But I would say that unfortunately you can't stay forever.
Yeah.
It is actually going to just do you more damage more and more consistently through staying for that period of time, because you're then just sort of damaging yourself by hanging out based off a threat that she's made to
you're
pick at your
effectively
emotions
giving your happiness away for somebody else.
else's. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try and make other people happy, but your own happiness is super important as well.
Of course, aye.
So
you should complete each other.
And what you'll actually find is she'll not really be happy either. Actually, what it'll be is like she's in the moment stuck. She's love blind.
Yeah.
But like, what will happen is if he goes, right, again, look, we're going to have to call it, she threatens, oh, I'm going to do this, and this. The likelihood is very, very slim chance that she'll do any of that. And the likelihood is she'll then come out with that, then find someone new and be considerably happier, because it'll be more likely to be someone that'll be compatible with her sort of wants and needs, i.e. marriage,
kids and
children,
stuff.
etc. And that'll all, she'll grow past all that. And he will then grow past all that to someone that meets his characteristics.
Because I was in a situation like that when it wasn't about kids or marriage in a way, but it was similar in terms of like, well, if you leave, like, I'll end.
Yeah, I've had that as well. Yeah,
most of us had that. And then, like, I stayed the first time, but the second time it pushed me to like, not that I don't care, but like, I genuinely don't think you will do this because you're just doing this to keep me from leaving.
Especially with the flipping, like the day after, she's like, yeah, what's happening? Like,
well, because she did that the first time, so I was like, right. So I eventually did leave, and then. Yeah, she obviously whatever, same. And then just moved on to a different guy.
Obviously,
like something
same.
Matter.
And I think it's happened with more than one, and I think all of the partners I've had that have maybe had that moment of weakness have now found other relationships and are happy with because they're meeting the requirement for a relationship. So I'm more than happy for them.
I'm happy as well for
more than happy for them. Like, genuinely, like, glad that they're in that position now, because really it is a moment of emotional weakness when that happens, and they're just, you're like, it's like Last Stand, like in Call of Duty. You go down and you're just shooting because you've got no other choice. Like, there's only that. That's the only button you can push. So like, that's all they're doing. They're just shooting in a position, like, because they don't want you to go, but eventually you run out of bullets. So like, that was good. And so like, for me, I think, yes, I understand why you've not got a moment, you're a bit nervous, whatever, and I get that, but unfortunately you will probably have to call that. She will be upset, there will be probably comments made like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You just have to take that on top and just go, look, well, unfortunately, it's best for both of us here. So let's just do this. Probably minimal contact's the correct thing, or none, ideally. I know that's tough for people to hear, but that's the right thing to do. The no contact thing, no one likes to hear that when I advise it. I advise it to everyone, and no one likes to hear it. but it's genuinely the best thing you can do.
It is the best. It's a horrible thing to go through.
Hard as hell to do.
It's difficult. We've all been there. But it's actually because I feel like it's the most hurtful one, but it's also the most healing one, and the one that you will benefit from the most.
Because people sometimes they go, oh, like we're just pals like now, or we're just, but like obviously I cared about her, she cared about me, like we just stay in contact.
If you keep talking,
but it doesn't
go away.
You're not, so like you're both here in the race because you just keep talking. So yes, you're past the hurdles, but you've still got the rest of the race to go, and you're not getting there because you're still talking. So you can't do the last bit of like mourning the relationship. You can't grow out of that last bit of relationship because you're still communicating.
So there's no closure, there's no end.
No.
So because you're still going, it's like, well,
it tricks your body into thinking that you're fine.
Because you think you're okay because you've still got them in your life, you've still got them on tap, you can talk to them and stuff like that. So you don't think of it like, right, that's finished, I need to go over this now and blah.
Absolutely.
And that is the shite part of it, unfortunately. But
it's not nice because it's someone you've spent time with and you obviously care about.
But it cultivates you into a better person at the end of it.
It does.
And it helps you kind of, I feel like...
progress, grow.
Grow, yeah. It helps you evolve and grow because you've overcome something that's difficult. And it basically makes you stronger.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
Kind of emotionally.
Emotionally makes you stronger and psychologically brings you into a better headspace. And so I would advise that based off what you're going with. Yes, she will be upset. She might be a bit more of a crier. Like, so it's quite visible emotion. But unfortunately, just you going, right, like, I'm sorry, it's like, and like, obviously I've loved every minute of it, but unfortunately we just don't align anymore, like our goals. And now she might come back and go, well, I've actually been thinking I don't want kids and I don't want that. Unfortunately, she's just clinging. Mate.
She will, at this point, she will
say anything now. Say anything now to get you to stay.
To save it,
aye. And
with hope that maybe you'll change your mind still.
Yeah.
Because it'll just be like a reset from when you first met. Be like, okay, yeah, that's fine, Lewis. And then in another
5 years, she's going to be like, perfect.
Well, maybe he wants kids now.
Navigate in, and it's not right, man.
Yeah, and then you've wasted all this time together. Well, not wasted, but you know what I'm saying.
You've officially used your time.
You've not
officially used it because you should really be trying to go with someone that meets your lines to your stuff.
And then now you're 10 years into it with somebody that wants kids. You don't want them, so now you're like, right, well.
Not everyone wants kids in marriage.
No.
I've got a daughter, but I didn't want kids. And I certainly don't think I want marriage either. Especially at the point I'm at now, I don't want any more kids, quite specifically, and I think I've said in a previous episode, that I don't want marriage, and I know people say, "Oh, your life changes," and that, but I'm getting older in the sense of like, yes, if I'd said that when I was 21. Absolutely, people would be like, listen, life's going to change. But actually, like, I'm an adult now. I've got my own views. I'm quite consistent with how my views are now, especially the last sort of couple of years. Fairly straight to the point. I know what I do like. I know what I don't like. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. Love my daughter to bits. She's my whole life, literally. But I don't think any more kids is what I want.
Yeah.
I don't have the... or marriage sort of thing. I don't really have the availability in my time, like in my life. So sounds like schedule's the wrong word, but in my life, I don't have that sort of like opening for that sort of like people to come, like someone to come in and all. I don't have that for like, I don't personally really want that. And I don't think that will really change personally.
Yeah.
I actually love my own company and the fact I don't have that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't just live with it. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, could not give a stronger word. Love the fact that I don't have...
I was actually speaking...
someone to compromise with,
about, like, your own like, people's own company. I was speaking to someone about it earlier on. And they were saying that, you know, they got judged for, like, going on like a trip to London by themselves because they've never been to London before.
People do that. It's weird. So, judge you for going on your own.
So basically, it's this friend I've got, and she went to London just because she'd never been to explore, right?
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
And
convenient.
She was seeing this guy at the time, right? And she went to London to just for a day out, for a trip, right? Whatever.
Okay.
And just to explore by herself because she loves her own company, right? And this guy's accused her of, oh, that's a bit weird. Like, you're definitely going to meet someone there and all this and all that, right? I'm like, what? Like, do you know what I mean? Some people are like that. They'll
obviously a bit insecure.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was like, that's a bit insecure, right? But the point I'm trying to make is, I like it when people, because I've in the past couple of, I don't know, maybe last year or so, I've grown quite into having liking my own space and being okay with just being myself, right? Yeah. I used to be terrible. I used to always want.
You're better than you've ever been.
I know. I used to hate being alone.
I think you still sometimes have moments where you crave a bit of social interaction, which, by the way, is completely fine.
I'm never. It's like
weekends.
There's sometimes days when I'm like, right, I would like to chill with someone.
Yeah,
I would like to go out and do I would like to have some sort of social interaction, right?
Suppose the day I'm at work.
But most of the time, it's fine. Most of the time, I'm okay. I'll go and do something else. I'll go for a drive. I'll go for a walk. I'll go do this, that, whatever. Right? Cool. But yeah, recently I've actually really liked being by myself, and even before that, like the past maybe year or so, I've also discovered like kind of what you're saying, like the marriage thing. I don't necessarily think it's necessary. Like if you're so close, if you're in love with someone and you're really like some people want to have a wedding, like guy and a girl. I'm not saying there's no wrong or right way to live life. I'm doing that you can do whatever you want. But me personally, I think like it's like
what about the kids?
The money thing, you can just spend that on like a massive holiday or whatever you want to do.
Considerably less.
Or less,
but considerably less on a massive holiday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Compared to a marriage.
I feel like because some people say it's a celebration of love, right? But then I'm like, well, celebrate your love every day, right? Yeah. But listen, each to their own, you know.
What about the kids thing? Just while we're on the subject.
I've never wanted kids. Never really wanted kids.
It's funny because I was the same.
Yeah, I never
really
wanted kids. I mean, I have a daughter. I've never wanted kids. It's a complicated situation still, but we'll get there eventually.
I mean, would you want more, do you think, in life?
No, I don't think so. There was a time where I was with someone and it was going really, really well, and I thought, you know what? If it were to happen, fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You know, it's
I absolutely understand what you're saying.
Sometimes you get that close to someone, you get that strong feelings about someone that you're thinking like, you know what, this actually wouldn't be a problem for me. This would be fine.
Yeah, it would be a problem.
Yeah, it would be okay. Like I'm okay with it, you know. But as time goes on and different things happen and blah blah whatever, right?
Yeah.
But as I sit here today, right now, talking to you, I don't believe so. No, I don't think it's. As I'm getting older as well, I don't really. I think having kids. So I'm kind of the opposite. Some people say have kids when you're a wee bit older and stuff like that.
I'm the opposite.
Whatever. I'm the opposite. I feel like if you have them younger, then obviously when you're older, like in your 50s or whatever. Like my mum, for example. My mum's 49, and I'm 30.
I know.
Right. So do you know what I'm saying? Like some people maybe like. Some people judge people that have kids really young, like 19,
I'll be
20,
similar to your mum.
Stuff. Yeah, you will be.
Because my daughter was born when I was 21.
Yeah, so there you go. It's
your mum
cool
would have been 19.
My mum was 19. She was 20 when I was born. 20
when you were born, so I was 21 when Ryan was born. So I'll be literally the same. So I'll be like 30 and I'll be like, come on.
Because my mum will be 50 this year in December, because she's in December.
Yeah.
So she's end of the year, so yeah. But it's like I feel like if you have kids early on, it's a lot better, because when you get older, you don't have to deal with.
This sounds terrible. It's like you get your life back a wee bit. So like, it grew me up. It made me grow up when I was having my daughter younger. Mm-hmm. Like emotionally, etc. It made me grow up a bit, which is a benefit as well, because. Like now when I get to like, say, Like my daughter's 7 this year, so like when I get to maybe like, so I'm 28, when I get to like 35, when I get to like 38, like I'm not gonna really have to do a lot with her. She'll be like 17, 18. Like
she'll be away,
but then she'll be away doing her own thing, which is totally fine. And obviously I'm there. I'm our dad, so I'm there to support her forever. But what I'm saying is like, some people are literally like, I've got a 5 or 6 year old at 38.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
And I do, personally, like I'm younger now. I can deal with things better. I bounce back better. Like I'm more fit. I can. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can go out and I can deal with it all much easier. Yeah. Like the sleepless, like if you're ever, I didn't ever get it, but if it's sleepless nights, all that sort of crap. Like genuinely, mate, like I think if I was like 10 years older, I'd be like come on.
The thing is, like, so, like, see nowadays, right? And I don't know if it's the age thing or what it is, but I'm really like, I'm very chilled out. I like quiet. I like peace and quiet and just not really. So I feel like if I had a kid now, I don't think I'd be like I don't know how I'd obviously do what I could, but
you'd have to take all it. It's a lot
more difficult for me.
Well, you would turn 40 and they would only be 10.
Literally, right? Yeah. So you'd be 40 years old by 10-year-old, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, right? Because as I said earlier on, there's no right or wrong way.
There isn't.
But I personally think for me it would be quite a lot.
My dad was your age. Your age when he had me.
Oh, 30.
You're 29, but 29,
right,
basically.
Yeah. Right, okay.
Because he's 57, and he's 58 in July.
Yeah,
and
I know people that are sort of like mid-20s, and like their parents are like in their 60s.
Yep, absolutely. Like
wow.
I know people like that as well. Yeah. Totally. Just for me, I like the younger. I like the fact that I was younger. Yeah. Personally, like just personal.
Look, if I ever end up in a relationship again, and
it's not to say no,
it goes that
I know
way,
what you're saying.
It goes that way. Then if it goes that way, then well, you have to deal with it, right? Yep. But I would prefer if it didn't.
Yeah, but you would have that conversation.
Of course, yeah.
But I just think, like obviously I'm lucky because I'm young. Like I'm like a young dad. It's nice because you kind of like, even some of the stuff, gaming, Lego, all this sort of stuff. Like we do it together.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you would do it together when you're 40. I'm just saying that like
you're never too old for shit like that.
I'm just saying that like I'm actively quite into all that now because I'm still younger. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in my sort of like later 20s, but it's like
you're coming up. Like
shut up.
You're coming up.
If I hadn't said 20 on this, everyone's thinking I'm 21.
That's true. You're in your 20s, eh?
Young pop.
You don't look it on camera. Anyway.
Shut up. Because Chris puts the light in, knows my pale skin just reflects off it. Like hair reflects. Nothing. I'm like a ghost.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's for me. That's my personal outlook on it. I have quite a cushy, comfortable life now with my daughter, like job, career-wise, home-wise, etc. Like everything's very, very comfortable, like family-wise, friends.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a very comfortable, relaxed.
See, when you get comfortable, life, you don't want to change anything.
I don't want to change comfort.
No.
I wouldn't choose to change comfort now because I'm not an idiot. Like I don't want to put myself in an uncomfortable position in the sense of like, not uncomfortable, but like, hi, let me just throw in like, I'll have a baby or I'll like, and I'll have this. Like, I don't want people to disturb my peace. Yeah. That sounds bad, but I don't.
Yeah.
I want to just chill.
It sounds bad, but it's really not.
Prioritize yourself. What's wrong? Of course. I prioritize my daughter.
Yeah.
Because I've got her.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not going to start prioritizing other people or whatever before me. I'm not.
Yeah.
And that sounds selfish, but that's just
selfish is actually okay sometimes.
So, different topic.
Go for it.
So, I've got a few series that I've watched over the last year. Wee bit over a year. And I've actually rewatched them because they've been good. Okay? So, first one, long as fuck. And some might laugh. Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, comfy.
Vampire Diaries.
Right.
Class.
I've watched it before. It's good.
Class. Right? I've actually rewatched it. I've watched it a few times now, right through.
Right.
Like, it's a lot of seasons. I think
it's like a million seasons.
9 or 10, I think, seasons. honestly, what a show, man! Like, what a show!
I found it hard to get into at the start, but then Damon appeared, and I was like,
right. Damon's with.
He's cool. I like him. I never liked him at first, but then
because they killed about 9 of the fucking main characters. Yeah.
As the thing went on, I was like, he's actually quite alright.
How far have you watched?
Funny. I've not watched far. I think I've watched maybe like.
No, but like if you're trying to tell me the story, how far have you watched? Can you remember?
I can't remember how far. I can tell you that I've watched at least 2 seasons though.
Really? Oh, that's quite far.
Right. Okay.
I feel that's decent.
Fair.
It's a 5th.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it all for you, but I have watched obviously the whole way through about 3 times now, I think.
Right.
Genuinely, I just really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a wee bit lovey, like there's
it's
a
like
wee bit of romance
right?
in
a
there.
little bit of a chick flick type
Slightly.
thing. It's like that shit that like you watch when you're in high school and you're like going through that phase.
Yeah, it's like a high school romance thing.
Yeah.
So slightly, yes. But I quite like all the myths and monsters and
see what
vampires and werewolves and all that sort of stuff.
You made me think of it because I was actually watching Family Guy earlier on, and they did a piss take of Vampire Diaries on Family Guy. Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Well, you're yet to see it.
Is this a new season? The new seasons.
Right. So you're gonna see it eventually, but it's basically like they've got all the like Peter and Brian. They made them like everyone's ripped 6-pack like nice hair and that, you know what they look like in the actual series, right?
Yeah.
So they've done them all like that, and then it's so funny the way they've done it. It's like, it's literally like the story from the Vampire Diaries when they're sitting in like a restaurant or just like a diner, and like one of the lasses gets killed in the woods, so they all go over to the woods, and one of the guys goes out of her. And they're like, sorry, buddy, like blah blah. And in the woods, there's randomly he's like, I need to go process this. And he jumps in his like old ass convertible, like in the middle of the woods, and just sits in it. It's just, it's brilliant. I can't wait to see that.
Can't wait to see that.
It's brilliant. But it's just the way, as soon as they showed Brian and he had the 6-pack and the big pecs and that, and I was like, oh my God. And he had like this blonde hair, like swept back and that. I was like, right.
God.
And it's just, everyone's just looking like, because it always is like that. Like everyone in that show is like
shredded.
Is like immaculate looking. Like, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I looked like in high school. Sure.
Yeah, I look 27. Like in high school. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think I'm in high school. I'm 15, but I worked out for the past 20 years, so that's.
So I look class.
I came out the womb with a dumbbell in my hand.
Mate. So I actually really like the show.
Oh yeah, totally.
So like I like all that myth sort of stuff and all that, and like kind of like magic objects and all this sort of shit. You're right there. All the magic objects and all that sort of stuff. Like I like all that shit.
Right.
So like I like that there was like the original vampires.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got up to that bit yet.
I got the ones that are like pure million years old.
Pure bloods.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah,
and they're like 1,000 years old in that.
There was one episode. Was like an insult. Was it like a half blood or something like that?
Well, basically,
they were insulting the darker lassie. What was her name again? The one whose mum was a witch.
Yeah, the witch. So that's Bonnie.
Bonnie, that's it. They were insulting her. They were calling her half blood or something like that because she wasn't like
full witch,
full witch or full vamp or whatever.
Full witch.
Yeah.
So like basically, I like all that. I like the witches in it as well.
Yeah.
So like obviously the originals are cool because they're like strong as fuck.
Right.
And then you've got like Klaus, who's one of the original brothers, but he was like a werewolf before he became a vampire. Mm-hmm. So like he's like a hybrid sort of thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he's like a fucking machine.
Yeah.
Like he's so scary. Like he's the most powerful thing on the planet. He's ridiculously overpowered.
Yeah.
Like can just bluter anyone in minutes.
Like that episode when they were at so who's the main character again? The other brother. Milena and the brother.
Stefan.
So they were at the dance in the school or something like that. And there was like another vampire who was working with the other lassie, the younger lassie. Yeah. And they were like in the dance, they were trying to catch Elena, I think it was. And they were like running, and that was the episode. I remember that episode. That was a good episode. I like that one.
So there's
a lot of action in that one.
There's like It's mad because there's so much stuff in it, like you didn't even know, like.
Yeah, I actually, you know what? You're making me want to like continue.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's so good.
I do like it. I did like it.
It's like because like it gets onto like stuff like there's like hell and everything. Like,
right.
It's mad. Like it gets crazy. Like, and there's like really powerful witches and all this sort of stuff.
The last episode I remember watching, I think, was the one when they go to that tomb, and Damon tries to. Like, I think there was like a
That's
thing.
where the original's dad is, I think.
They were trying to bring someone back. Oh, Damon was trying to bring like his girlfriend back or something like that. And they were attempting to try and do that, and they went into this like door.
And they can't get back out.
And they can't get back out. They eventually did get back out, but they couldn't bring like.
That's because it's Elena's doppelganger.
Yeah, that's right. Aye.
That's her. What's her name?
I cannot remember her name.
Hell.
That's gonna annoy me. But that's who it was.
She's a vamp. She's bad as
they were trying to bring her back, but they never succeeded. And then he obviously took a huff after that.
Yeah, I like that. They're sometimes friends and they sometimes are. I like the fact that all happens.
It's just action, eh?
It's cool.
Drama and action and shit.
It's cool. Have you noticed that Stefan drives like a 300 grand classic Porsche?
I didn't know. I don't remember that.
That red Porsche thing that he drives.
I don't remember that.
It's literally like they're like 300k.
All right, like an older one. Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Thing.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, oh yeah, high school. You definitely have one of them. Definitely have one of them.
Just pull that out.
Definitely have one of them fucking floating about it. Like,
but the thing is, obviously, in that universe, like they're like 100 years old, but they're obviously
hundreds. No,
well, whatever years old, but they're like in the bodies. They're staying
still
in the age that they
bodies,
obviously.
Because Stefan and Damon are like 160.
Yeah, and I keep saying this. I would love that. Like to stay. Like if I was bit now.
I like the girl that's Stefan's friend that Damon kills.
Oh yeah.
She's like 300-400 years old.
Yeah, I like her. She was sound. I was gutted when she died. She was really sound.
Have you met the OG sister yet?
OG sister.
One of the original, like the sister, like the purebloods.
Oh, sister. I can't remember.
Girl. Her name's Rebecca.
I can't remember.
She's a badass, mate.
Is it?
Oh, aye.
I can't remember, I'll be honest.
She's a proper badass, but
right.
Like strong as... She was the first original.
Right.
So like she's technically the strongest, other than Klaus, who's the hybrid.
Yeah.
But technically the strongest.
Right, okay.
And I need to keep... And then there's Elijah, who's the one that always wears the suit.
Right, okay. I need to get back on it.
Because when they first show the originals, I don't know if you remember the scene, they go down to this church or something like that, and there's a couple of guys in there, and they're obviously wanting to try to go after them or whatever. And that Elijah comes down and literally like he just goes like that, bang, the guy's head just comes clean off his body and all that because he's that strong, because he's like obviously like over 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
And but he just has this minted fucking pure free piece of suit on. And he's just like, son, like, do you know what I mean? like he's so fast as well. It's like comes back. You're like, fucking hell, this guy's a machine, because he's like the first overpowered character you see, and you're like, right,
yeah.
Well, everyone's fucked now. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas, like, then you start finding there's even more powerful characters as you go on. It's so cool, man. See the end. I'm not going to ruin any of this
don't
for
say
you.
No shit.
But honestly, like, you need to watch till the end.
Yeah, no, I will.
It is like, mate, fantastic.
There's a series I mentioned, that Mobland thing with Tom Hardy. That's already out. I'm going to have to watch that in the next couple of days. So I'll have a review for that for next time.
There's another one called Havoc.
That's
Netflix,
right, yeah, that's the one I mentioned as well.
That's got Tom Hardy in it.
That's right, I mentioned the both of them.
It's supposed to be good.
So I'm going to watch them. I'm going to try and watch them both for the next podcast and give a review on that, because I've really been dying to watch that, to be honest.
So another one, and I can't remember if I've spoke about this on here. Stranger Things.
You have, yes, because you told me to watch it.
Touched on it.
You touched on it.
That's another one.
Because you told me that you said that it's quite retro and that I'd like it. I remember this. Yeah, you told me you've
obviously you've not watched it.
No, I have not.
Well, Stranger Things is another one that I would highly recommend.
Right.
And Sex Education.
You've not mentioned that. I did. I watched a couple episodes
of
Sex Education.
Did you?
Yes, a while ago.
Okay,
a good while ago.
Were you getting into it or not? You need to watch a bit in.
It wasn't really. Nah, it didn't really hit me. Like
you can't.
Like at one point, I was watching it and I'm like, "What is this shite I'm watching?"
Unfortunately, you need to watch.
You got to force yourself to watch it.
A bit in, yeah.
Right.
and you'll get hooked, but you need to.
I can't actually remember much of it because it was a good while ago.
Put yourself deeper in to be stuck.
Is that a sex joke?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it with my mum, and she wasn't sure about it.
Right.
And then I watched it with my mum, and she was like, "Oh, this is actually really good." Like she got hooked, but hooked to the level where, like, when I wasn't in, she was watching extra episodes and that, and I was like, "Right, calm down." I was like, "Wait, stop!" Like, but honestly, mate, it's class.
I feel like if you start watching something with someone, you cannot watch it without them.
It's absolutely done me out. It's ridiculous. But basically, Sex Education is about a guy, Otis, who's the wee kid.
Yeah.
And his mum's like a sex psychologist.
Right.
So, like, she helps people, like, that are having, like, problems in their sex lives or whatever. So, like, obviously, it's a wee bit embarrassing for him at school. Mm-hmm. And he goes into, like, he's obviously in school, blah, blah. And one of the guys finds out and tells the whole school.
Oh, right, okay.
Right? Because he finds a video of his mum, like, I'm sure it's like showing like how to put a condom on or something like that.
Right.
On like a big fake penis.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, and then he plugs it through the whole school.
Right.
Like sends it out in like a blast to WhatsApp or something to everyone in the school. Right. So everyone pulls it up and all they're like, insert the penis, like right? And obviously Otis just has a fucking breakdown.
Yeah.
And like runs away, right?
I would move schools, I'd be like, I'm out of here.
And then Maeve, who's like the girl in it, she's kinda like a wee bit like alternative, like she like has to go out to check he's all right and all that. Mm-hmm. And then it turns out that he's obviously just picked up all his mum's expertise over the years where his mum's been talking shite about all this sex stuff. And he's just somehow absorbed all the info.
Right.
So like someone's having problems in their relationship and he just gives them full on advice there and there. And it's like bang on. Right. And they're like, oh, good idea, right? Mm-hmm. And then that Maeve's like, maybe we should be selling this, like, right. So they open like a sex clinic, and he literally just gets swamped with people at school, like, my vagina's hairy, and like this and that, like, it's hilarious, mate, like, just such funny stuff, like, what if I'm attracted to frogs and all that, like, oh, mate, the weirdest shit, right?
Right.
And obviously, like, right, well, like, sexual fantasy about frogs is totally fine, but, like, getting all this sort of stuff.
Tone it down a bit.
Mate, honestly, hilarious, right?
Right.
And then you go through and you sort of, like, get more into it because you start learning all the characters and all that. And then, like, at one point, in one of the seasons, Otis starts going out with, like, the most popular girl in school.
Right.
Because he's basically been at a party, and it was a dress-up party, and he dressed up as, like, a fucking... like a crisp or something.
A crisp?
Aye, like, it's funny as fuck. I can't even remember what he dressed up. It's something ridiculous like that. Like, everyone's wearing normal outfits, kind of like Rambo and that.
Yeah,
he comes in this massive outfit. It's just like a big potato or something like that, right? And he's like, he's obviously like a geekier guy, and he's just like,
hi.
Like, I like hilarious, right? Because obviously he gets a bit more famous because everyone knows him as the sex kid, right? Blah, blah. So then the lassie, like, the most popular girl in school, like, she ends up, like, they get together in the closet.
All right,
and because she's
so
like,
he puts it into practice.
She's like, sometimes I like pure weirdos, like donuts and that, right? So then, pure clowns, right? So then she's like, but don't tell anyone ever, right? So then they start, like, obviously, like, shagging, and then she's like, don't say anything. But then he actually does, like, the coolest thing. He's like, eventually, he's like, nah, I'm not doing this in secret. He's like, if you like me, then.
Yes, but
like make it legit, like, and it needs to be in front of everyone, like, we're not
right.
So then, like, she's like, I like you,
right?
Like, she goes away and thinks about it, and then she comes back, she's like, yeah, I do like you, like, let's just make it legit. So then he starts going out with her,
right? And
obviously he goes into school and he's going with her, like, in the pure popular like group and all that. She's like the most popular girl in school, and everyone's like, what? Honestly, it's hilarious when he first walks in with her. They're like, is that fucking Otis? I'm like, like, mate, her name's Ruby. It's like, is that Otis with Ruby? Oh my god, like folk up here like blowing their minds, mate. Like, Kimmel School was like, hey.
So the guy that came from a laughing stock into an idol.
An absolute idol, right?
Right.
So, like, obviously, like, even his own friend in it, who's funny as fuck, this guy, right? He's just like this. I'm sorry, you said, what? Like, like, he's like blown away, right?
Right.
And then obviously, like, Ruby's making him wear all these funny outfits and that because she's like, obviously, like, into fashion and all that. She's like, yeah, it's Purple Day, so, like, let's get it.
Purple Day.
Right, yeah, right. So then Otis eventually goes, look, I'm not wearing these outfits. Mm-hmm. So, like, just be happy with what I'm wearing or not. And she's like, okay, I'm happy with what you're in. It's actually like nice because it's the first time you see. So this is like there's a lot of character development in this film.
I can see that.
Show, right?
I can pick it up from what you're telling me.
He's a character development, right?
He's increasing in confidence. Like
he's increasing in confidence, which is nice to see.
Because he's like, listen, if you don't want like this,
yes, and that's what's nice as well. So actually, if you take 3 steps back and watch the show, what it puts out to you a lot about is like, be yourself, be confident with what you're happy with doing, wear what you want, be friends with who you want to be friends with, be confident about who you are inside. That's what it's like, gives all those quite positive vibes.
Yeah, it does.
But very low level, like subliminally, like under the radar, right? And I actually like that because even like the popular girl, it turns out like she lives in a really poor like house, like her dad's really unwell, like he's not got really a lot of mobility and all that, and she actually looks after him. So you'd think she comes from a posh mansion or something because you'd like the way she dresses, she carries herself, everything. Mate, she comes from like a pure like a scheme nearly, and like she's in a really rough bit, and like she has to look after her dad who doesn't work anymore because he's injured and all that, and he's like quite unwell and all this, and I don't think she's got a mum and just stuff like that.
You find a lot of fitties come from that kind of background, eh?
So like obviously like like it's quite, because basically every time he goes like, oh, I'll walk you home, she's like, no, you didn't even walk me home, like for ages. So eventually like she does let him come back, and he's really nice because Otis is like a nice guy.
Yeah,
he's really nice to like her dad and all that, and he chats away at him and all that, and then he's like it kind of just like it opens up to what you think about her as a character, because you're like, oh, like she's actually not this pure mean bitch. Like she's actually like just got quite a hard thing at home.
Yeah, and
she maybe just projects it a wee bit at school, like,
because maybe like she's like, because she'll feel maybe a wee bit shit about
vulnerable or something,
where she's from and what her situation is. But when she's at school,
she can be someone else.
No one knows anything about her, so then people obviously look up to her as a popular person or whatever. Exactly. So then instantly she's like, oh yeah, I can be like the boss here.
Exactly.
And then obviously
and the development in the character is cool. Like even with her letting like Otis like wear his own clothes and that, like not like you know what I mean, but like
like okay with it.
Is actually like mad.
She's not judging, she's not judgmental,
like,
or whatever.
Crazy character development, right? And then like his best friend, he's gay.
Yeah.
Quite like openly gay. And his character development is really interesting as well, because he comes from like an African background.
Okay.
So like it's not as sort of like welcomed.
Yeah. Socially acceptable.
He's for like Nigeria.
Yeah.
So like it's not welcome over there at all.
Frowned upon is the word you're looking for.
Very frowned upon.
Yeah.
So like obviously eventually comes out as gay to like his mum and his family and that. And that's quite interesting. And then like you find it like he's sort of experimenting with other like with the partners and things like that. And actually like one of his partners isn't that nice to him. And then you see like how it develops through that. Like, and at one point he gets like battered by some just random guys on the street.
Right. Okay.
And that's quite like
shite.
Not nice either. Like, because you're like, God, how's he like had to go
Let
through that?
Let people do what they want to do. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. But like it's quite sad that he goes through that. But actually at that time it's because Otis has patched him to go away with Maeve. Because he actually fancies Maeve. He's what it shows you is like he's abandoned his mate, and look what, and then that's happened. So that wasn't nice either. And it's just like there's so much like
it almost comes across like this guy who was this like self-conscious little guy
is getting too much fame. That. So that's the thing.
It's like they've swapped personalities almost.
Otis could have been the dream character for the whole thing. But they didn't make him too nice, because actually there's mistakes he's making where socially where he's doing things that actually you're like, you're throwing your mess under the bus, bro. Like
it's like him. It's like him and his bird switched personalities over time, like gradually.
Because at one point he leaves that bird.
Does he?
He goes with Maeve instead of her, and he goes with it. And obviously you can see Ruby's then a wee bit upset.
Because she's obviously
because she's opened up and became vulnerable to him, and he's just fucked off and went away with Maeve. And you're like, damn man, like
had it all.
You like, well, also, but like, you're like, dude, like, you were like a nice dude, and then you fucking fucked her over, like, and like, so like, he becomes like too big for his boots, like, do you know what I'm saying, like, and it's quite good, like, that they've gone both ways with the character development. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Maeve comes from a caravan park. That's the other girl in it. She comes from like a caravan park, so really poor background, no mum. Well, her mum's about, but no mum there, and like. always struggling, super clever.
Right.
Like academically super smart, but struggles to apply it because she doesn't come from a very supportive background and stuff like that. But that's just what I'm saying. Every character has got something going on.
See, every time that you tell me about a show that I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, shite. You talk about it in such a way that sells it to me so much.
Watch it.
And it really inspires me into like actually being like, do you know what? I'm going to give it another chance.
I like critiquing stuff.
Yeah.
I watch them.
You're really good at it.
And I listen into it and I listen to it and I try and understand what was the background here, because things aren't mindless.
What's the message?
Aye, things aren't mindless. None of these shows are mindless. Stranger Things is saying none of them are mindless. There's always things
they're
in the
not there for no reason.
They have a meaning. They have things that they're trying to portray.
To be honest, when I watch a movie or watch something like that, I'm like, well, there's a meaning behind this, because why else would you make this? Right.
They're trying to portray something.
Aye.
So you like, it's interesting to know what they're trying to portray.
Yeah.
Like, I like to do that. But I'll tell you what, Sex Education is one that multiple meanings, amazing character development. Yes, it is a wee bit slow at the beginning, but I don't think I had a very large budget in the first season, because it was like, is this going to be good or not?
Yeah, they didn't know.
But you know what? Fantastic.
British, right?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
So I think, based off like the cars and stuff that are around, seems a bit older. I would say like 70s or 80s.
Oh, really? Is it?
But impossible for it to be, due to the fact that technology is advanced enough in it, whereas it's nearly like 2020.
All right, okay.
Like, as in phones and all that.
Yeah.
But like the way they dress and the styles of like even the houses and the styles of the cars tells me like 70s or 80s.
Okay.
But the way they've done it is actually, I actually looked it up to see what the guy that produced it said, and he actually just went, I like the 70s, 80s style, like cars and all that. Like, I like that whole style, but I had to make it modern to hit. And he's like, and I'm not bothered what, like, it doesn't say a time frame, it doesn't say a year. He's like, I just made it what I felt was relevant.
It's basically a universe, isn't it? It's type of universe.
He made it what he felt was relevant to him. Like, what he liked.
And what works with the actual...
What works with it. For the clothes are cool, man. Everyone dresses cool as fuck. Like,
I mean, the fashion back then was sick, so yeah.
Sick as fuck. So, like, it's cool, man. Like, one of the girls, like, she gets, like, she's one of the popular crew, and then she goes away from them. She pulls away from them. And she actually gets, like, a guy thingies, or, like, touches her on a bus or something like that. Like, and it's just a small one, but I think she then feels quite, like, self-conscious, and it takes her quite a few episodes to, like, get over that.
Yeah.
And then she, like, develops into art and all that, and, like, quite cool in baking and stuff. And, like, but, like, as a character, she develops really far as well. Like, it's, like, interesting.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I would highly recommend it. But you need to work your way into it.
Well, I've got a lot to watch now.
For me, those are like the initial 3 ones that I would try and sell you. Obviously, Wednesday would be on that list as a fourth.
Wednesday.
I know you've already seen Wednesday.
Love Wednesday. Fucking love it.
And I know there's a new season of Wednesday.
I can't wait.
Have you seen any trailers for it?
No, I don't think so. So I've got a funny thing about trailers, right? I don't
often watch them.
I don't like watching trailers, because I feel like whilst they don't give away a lot of the stuff, they give me too much.
Yeah,
I don't like. So if I'm anticipating a movie that I really want to see, right, and I'm like, I can't wait to see that, because I maybe like the actors, or I roughly know, maybe it's a sequel of a previous movie, I roughly know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Or what it is, or what to expect. Or based on the actors, I'll maybe know roughly what kind of type of movie it's going to be, or something like that, right? So if there's a trailer available for it, I will literally avoid it like the plague. I will be like, no, I'm not watching it, because the trailer will set a sort of like a background for
stance
for
like a base.
So I'll be like, cool, so that scene's in it, and it'll show me like a car rolling over, or some sort of,
and you can mimic, you can put
and
in,
like, so this is so I'm gonna see this scene at some point. I don't want to be waiting for a scene. I want to see everything all together
for the first time ever.
For the first time ever. I don't want to be like, that scene's in it. I've seen that in the trailer. Because I've seen it in the trailer, so now I'm already wowed by the scene in the trailer, but I don't see the build up to it. I don't see the aftermath of it. So I'm like, right. So, but the key moment is that scene. So whatever the build up is, that's the climax there. So you see what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to see the whole thing in one go, uninterrupted, for the first time ever, and that's going to really set like the impression for me, and that's my first impression of the movie, and that's what I pay the fucking cinema for.
Yep.
or if I watch it on Netflix or blah, that's what I want in return. As I want to be like, fucking hell, that's insane. Like, I can't believe.
Yeah, first time, like, oh my god, yeah.
Like Underground 6 was one of them that I didn't.
That was a really good.
I seen the lineup of like cast.
Good cast.
And I was like, yeah, this is going to be sick. Ryan Reynolds, he doesn't go in shite movies. This is going to be sick.
Well, he was in Green Lantern, and that was terrible.
I never watched that.
Oh,
but anyway, most of the movies anyway, right? So, or like Bodyguard with Samuel Jackson and him.
We love that film.
Insanely good. I didn't watch the trailer for that either because I was like, well,
you did that. You seen the second one?
Yeah. I was like, two of my favourite cast. I was like, not watching that. As in the trailer, of course. So I watched Underground 6 and I've seen the budget that I mentioned this before. The budget's for
huge.
The biggest budget in Netflix history at the time. In any cinema history at the time.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I was fucking blown away by the effects, the amount of like effort. You could really see where the money's went to, like the effects, the amount of effort they put in it. And same with Bodyguard, like insanely well put together. The one thing I did see prior to watching the movie though was on Facebook there was a clip, behind the scenes clip of when the Porsche gets pushed in the water.
Yeah.
That's the only clip because I thought that was a real clip. I didn't know that was a movie. I thought it was just like, what the fuck, some idiot just pushed a car in the water and just drove off. I was like, fucking hell. And then I seen that in the movie and I was like, oh, that's from this movie. It must have been a behind the scenes clip. I didn't
Curious, have you seen the newest Fast and Furious with Jason Momoa in it?
No.
Neither have I.
I stopped watching Fast and Furious because...
About Fast 7, 8?
Something like that, yeah.
Same
because it just turned into absolute garbage.
One of them he was in space and that was me.
I didn't even see that.
I was done.
I didn't even see that, mate. I can't remember.
I think I was 8.
I think I was like 7. Fast 7 I think I've watched and that was me.
Because Fast 5 was good, real.
Was good, yeah.
What was Fast 6 again?
I can't remember, but it was...
At the moment Letty's alive.
I think so, yeah. And it started getting a little bit colourful there.
Where did she come from again? Where was Letty?
She got
picked up by the other group.
Yeah, she was in some other brainwashed thing. She was in some brainwashed thing.
What's the one with John Cena in it? 7.
I can't remember.
7, I can't remember. 7.
I think so. I don't know. It was, to be honest, what saved it for me was that Jason Statham, because he's one of my favourite all-time actors. Yep. So that's what saved it for me, that he was in it. So I was like...
Hobbs and Shaw I liked.
I watched that as well. That was good.
Yeah.
But I liked Fast and Furious when it was actually about cars and mechanics and doing shit. Like
but a bit more realistic for me.
Whereas they started fucking doing all this.
I can push a bit of non-realist.
You can push a wee bit, but they just started doing too much.
That was too much.
And I'm like, bro.
Like he lands on a cable and it takes him over a canyon and that.
No.
And you're like, come on.
Come on, bro.
Have a break. Like...
Or when he flies from one car to the other.
I seen one when he jumps over... Like he's going off the cliff.
Yeah.
And he somehow directs where he's going and the back wheel gets hooked with a wire, which he then swings round the cliff and back off. And I was like, come on. Mm-hmm. I was like, come on.
Ridiculous.
And then lands a car at like what would be about 250 miles an hour perfectly, and it drives perfectly down the road. I've hit pavements and not been able to drive the car. Like, come on. Like,
see, this is what I don't like. Is I don't like the unrealism they've pushed on now, and I just don't like how they've steered completely away from like cars just hanging out, like
that's bullshit.
Racing and shit like that. Like
I watched Tokyo Drift not long ago for the first time in ages, and I was just like this. What a film! Like, what? I'll be honest.
My favorite one is the original one.
Is it?
The first one ever.
It's not for me.
My favourite one.
It's not for me.
Because that is, aside from the, like, where it originated from, that was their purpose, their message was that, right? And that's what kind of cultivated the car scene culture after that as well, right? It's the actual plot of it, the scenes, what happens in it, like, all this stuff, like, and it's, like, kind of, like, relevant to like us, like people that were into cars. We did not as excessive as that, but we did similar shit. Like we kind of relate to that, and that's what I like to see. I like to see that. And 2 was Tokyo.
Love 2.
I really liked it.
2 is brilliant.
As my favorite ones must be, it'll be the start ones. So first one, second one, and Tokyo Drift. That's my favorite ones, definitely.
For me,
I liked some of the other ones, but
for me, favorites are Tokyo Drift, 2, 5.
Okay.
And then 1, and then 4.
Right, okay.
And then the rest of them are garbage.
Yeah, shite. Well, yeah.
So, like, if I was to put them in order, Tokyo Drift best, Fast 5, 2, 1, 4.
Oh, they're shite. But
others are not even on the leaderboard. What are you? Go. Top 5.
Top 5.
In order.
Okay, so the first one, the OG.
Is best.
Best, right?
Go.
I'd put Tokyo Drift as the second.
Yep, good.
Fast and Furious 2 as the third one.
Tokyo Drift's my favourite, to be fair.
Yeah. I liked 5. So that'll probably go on the 4th. And then... Which one's the one when they're in
Four's the one when they're doing the Mexico one.
No, Abu Dhabi one or Saudi Arabia, Dubai, whatever the fuck.
That's 6, I think.
6 was good. I liked 6.
Did you?
Yeah, so I'll put that at the...
I didn't. 6 was shit.
I went to the cinema to watch it. It was okay. I feel like that's when they really like transformed into the bullshit era from then.
It was. Absolutely.
I feel like that
was the one when he drove the fucking car out
through
the Dubai building.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
That I found I was like, right.
Come on. And he lifted the car, remember?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, they're like, right, we need to get underneath this car. You've got 9 minutes. And he's like this. And he was like this. They were like, the 9 minutes is coming up. 8:44. And he's like, I was like, come on.
You know what it was for me, right? It was when...
Didn't even break a sweat.
When they landed, when they got into the third tower and they landed and they literally just land like that over the edge. Like Dominic's over the edge. Like if he went any further, he would have fell. I'm like, right, well, that's obviously scripted. Like
some of the strength things are like ridiculous. Just improbable. Like it's impossible.
Well, since they've put fucking G.I. Joe in it,
it's like, do you know what I mean? Like Dominic Toretto with the car lift, it still kills me to this day.
Yeah,
the bench press, I can't.
See if I was to watch, if I was to watch Fast and Furious with The Rock in it, or if I was to watch Hulk, I wouldn't know the difference. And on that note...
But Dom's stronger than The Rock. That's what makes even less sense.
It makes no fucking sense.
The guy's a mechanic. He makes sandwiches. And he's...
That's what I liked.
I know. But The Rock's literally like a trained CIA agent who's a unit.
Yeah.
And he's literally less strong.
I know.
How is that possible?
There's gym strength and there's the mechanic strength.
Oh, well, of course.
Come on.
Makes sense then.
But on that note...
we're done.
We'll finish up for today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching. And we will catch you next week with some reviews of some shit that I've watched.
Peace.